Ah dang, what's up guys? Never gave up. Never gave up, you're right. We never gave up in here. I made some progress.
What's new?
A little bit of progress. Oh, let's take a look here. I'm gonna farm some more maps. I think in the middle of getting crystals, but I fixed the bottom part. We just gotta deal with this crap right here. Got an agenda. Definitely. This will be, you know, a very important point. Just need a spy master here. It goes right here, but I have to have a sacrifice chamber at the same time. Which means I pretty much need to get a spy master medallion to pull that off. Unless both show up at the same time. It would be very lucky if they did. But I can also do another thing, and I can start rigging my thaumaturg corruption chamber spam over here. Abusing it with paths. So I have a game plan for that. Kind of need to get some of this stuff deleted here. Once I get this connected, I'll be very safe because I'll just need to lock one thing. Oh wait, actually, I don't want to delete this now because of the hotfix that just came in. Yeah, I can actually put a spy master here, lock it, and have a 50-50 chance of pulling the right thing. I just now realize that. So on second thought, I can keep working, looking fresh. Yeah, it's primarily the lighting. Whenever I wear this shirt, the lighting looks better. If I wear a dark colored shirt, the camera lighting is like way improved. Or, you know, maybe I'm just that fresh. Could be that. I decided to go ahead and make an unethical version. Pretty decent chance that both of those temples I'll make a video on real soon, next day or two. I finally like did some theory crafting and looking around 2 days in a row, and it basically didn't change, which means I might have actually locked it in. I tried really hard to improve it beyond what you see there, and I just can't really do anything better. At least if you're trying to get a triple golem works. Like a high aspiration, 3 golem works. 2 lines plus 2 golem works. Maybe it can be done some of the time. Yeah, a lot of people want to start building temples, you're right. That's a good point. I notice how like some content creators are just like making, you know, videos. They make like an update video or like something where they say like temple was buffed, and it gets like a ridiculous amount of views, and that's like all they said in there was hotfix 15, which is like 1 line of text. And they're making like tons of views out of it. I'm like, is that really necessary? But I guess it just means people want the intel. Now, if I make a video on it, I'm bringing the value. It's a value-packed video. I've been reluctant to make a video because I keep changing the layout I want to do too many times. And it's been very time-consuming to get it where I want it to as well. Yesterday I finally made a mistake and bricked my outer chain by looping. Good time to remodel it since it wasn't very optimal anyways after the effect changes. Hotfix 13, the one that reversed and reversed the buffs and made Golem Works highly relevant, is the real big changer. I don't think the lock change either way really was all that impactful. I think people just kind of lost their mind on that. But at the same time, I think it was validly critiqued as a dumb change. Like it didn't really help anyone, just hurt people, and didn't even hurt the people it intended to hurt, which was like the Giga Min Maxers who were by and large already done with their temples anyway. He's just dumb on like multiple angles. And yet, at the same time, I didn't see it as like a big deal. Wow, Divine Orb in a map. We need the Messiah Temple vid. Young White Doc in the chat, dude. I lurked for like 3 hours in your stream yesterday. I didn't really say much. But I was taking it easy yesterday. I didn't stream. I was one of your primary viewers that day. I removed Ice Nova from the build. I get way more spark, actually more damage in temples, and it's pretty much redundant to try and get a ground. And when you got 50 Headhunter buffs, you guaranteed to have an elemental ground buff anyway, like Trail of Ice or something. So it doesn't even matter. So actually, like, not going out of your way to get elemental ground is perfectly suitable for content like the temple. Just started a new character. You think I can use Molten Strat in the Axe? Look at my temple ready. I've never heard of it. Is that like the Holton Strat? Except for Molten Core or something? Molten Core? What? Molten Vault? A WoW brain rot. Just working on the new vid? Oh yeah. I heard you were talking about a new vid. You're coming out with the YDoc tech. First YDoc tech video? Is it like your first like major PoE 2 video that isn't commentary but is like actually about like your build and stuff? Holton tech got removed. I mean, the tech wasn't removed, right? Just the version of that on that layout. Like, can't you still do that on different waystone areas? No tech, just discussion. Yeah, I need a YDoc build guide video in my life. A hardcore SSF build guide video. Viable for Act 2 and 3. Act 2, 3 viable. Oracle Druid. Yeah, so I mean the tech itself's not nerfed, just, you know, everybody was doing it on that one area, so they quickly hotfixed that one spot. Perfect essence of sorcery. What the hell? There's an island down there. I'm gonna show you how to reach Clearfell. Dude, there's probably demand for that kind of video. Not gonna lie. We need definitely not my audience, but it's out there for sure. Sometimes you turn left, sometimes you turn right. Which way am I turning this time? Let me tell you how to min-max your turns. Show you the dodge roll techniques. The sprint. They show you how to sprint without getting stunned. I mean, people would watch that. I'm gonna die right here. No! No! Oh wow. It's unlucky. Ethical approach to PoE 2. Perfect. Jewelers, what? You know, even if I got 10 divines from this, it wouldn't even be exciting, dude. This thing's been made redundant, but I don't care about gold anymore. Finally don't care about gold anymore, guys. Wow. Awesome. So you guys like super happy about the hotfix 15? We gotta like memorize them by number now. Every number is different. We got the buff of 14 and then the Reinstallation of 15. Whoa. They actually did manage to kind of pull off a fast one on, like, Legacy Temple enjoyers. Because, like, if I had a Legacy Temple right now, I'd feel pretty bad about, like, not having Golem Works in there, and you'd have to rip your temple apart pretty hard to get them in. I think. I didn't double check that. I think you do. Rather they wipe all the layouts for everyone? They can't do that. That's like... I mean... I don't know, like, they're doing some pretty crazy stuff, but I mean, wiping layouts like that's like game developer cardinal sin territory right there. You don't just wipe people's progress. You don't... You can indirectly screw people's progress over, but you definitely don't, like, straight up wipe it in the most direct, visceral way possible. Like, you don't do that. People spend, like, days building those temples up. Like, it would be a bloodbath to their standing in the community if they did that. Like, you think what they did recently is bad, like, it's nothing compared to if they just deleted temples. But the only thing they might get away with in that sense would be deleting, like, illegal chains or something. Or, like... But there's no way to do... They don't have the tech to do that. Like, if they had the tech, they could quickly, like, go in and see any type of illegal chains. They would, like, re-engineer them to be legal. But that would require a ton of programming and specificity that the likes of which they can't perform. They're way too... That'd be way too monumental of a task to do that kind of thing. It's definitely not worth it to them, especially in, like, early access. Because this is an early access game. Never forget. We need a reset temple item. A reset temple button. Are you sure you want to reset this temple? Wait! No! Temp chains. Temp chains. Get out of here with that temp chains. How much rarity you guys using on gear for your temples? Those of you who are running them for real. I don't know why they wouldn't nerf the drop rates in temples still with those updates. Well, they did nerf the drop rates. Well, I mean, okay, they indirectly did by the Golem Works change. Like, yes, temple is still incredibly lucrative, but that's because it was... Like, it went from it went from, like, bananas to outrageous. Okay? It got nerfed from bananas to outrageous. It was bananas lucrative, now it's outrageously lucrative. If you're asking them to make it, like, fairly lucrative, well, they would have to nerf it, like, 7 more times or something. Yeah. Yeah, I figure, like... For those who had a great temple with no Golem Works, they probably got their loot nerfed by at least 3/4, I would imagine. Especially currency drops. And if you have, like, a great post-patch temple with Golem Works, you're probably looking at, like, a 50% nerf or something, I would guess. So I'm estimating that a perfect temple now is probably dropping twice as much loot as... a perfect temple before the patch. Just as, like, a rough ballpark estimation based on the effectiveness of, you know, the difference between, like, 0 versus 2 or 3 Golem Works, 2 or 3 Golem Works in the chain. Because most people hate temple and despise... Most people hate and despise temple? I don't think most people hate and despise it. I don't think they do inherently. I mean, I think that's like saying most people hate heist or something. But, like, the reason they don't like it is because of it being imbalanced to the early game economy or something in certain stages back in PoE 1. People did that every single league and like de-leveled just to do it and that kind of thing. I think most people think of it in terms of in a vacuum without factoring in the ramifications of the economy. I think most people think that the Val Temple is a great mechanic. There was a snapshot in time where people didn't like it because it felt unrewarding, but I just think they didn't understand what... It's just a very, very high level of depth mechanic and customization for the player, and if you're going to maximize it, you actually have to kind of plan it and know what you're doing. If you just go in and randomly do it... I don't know. I feel like there's... it's an interesting topic of debate, like... To what extent should a mechanic be new player friendly? To what extent should a mechanic introduced mechanic be so hard to understand that even if you're using third-party programs, it's still difficult to understand? To what extent should a mechanic demand an extreme amount of like patience and discipline to get the most out of it? But even for it to be that rewarding. See, that's the weird thing. This, I think more so than any mechanic... yeah, actually, yeah. Wouldn't you guys say this? More so than any mechanic in PoE history, this PoE 2 iteration of Val Temple is the most time-intensive, patience-demanding, delayed gratification aspiring mechanic we've ever seen. Like it's so intensely demanding in terms of time and patience and setup and like conscientiousness and everything, that when you actually think about it, it really doesn't seem that outrageously imbalanced. Like, it doesn't really seem too rewarding. When you actually go through the process of making it, I don't think most people are sitting there thinking to themselves, yeah, oh, wow, this is... I mean, look at all these divines I'm dropping. Like, it would be one thing if you just plop in some scarabs and, you know, did it, but, like, this takes so much time and effort and theory crafting and work and perfecting and maintaining, too. Like, it's not even the kind of thing where... It's not even the kind of thing where you do it and you're done. Like, you actually have to keep it maintained. Like, you can blow it up, lose them. That's a lot of people have. So it's even... So it's got, like, this extra layer of restrictiveness that is not really a part of most other things. It's just an extreme version of... you know, take the hard road, get the most out of it in the end. You know, get the least out of it in the beginning, the most out of it in the end. The payoff is huge for actually doing it. It's like an extreme version of mechanic of that. I've been thinking I might at some point make a video, probably after the league, after I get done with the league, or when I... This will be a league I'll probably make a feedback video on, because I think this league mechanic is nothing short of terrific from a design standpoint. Sure, you know, you can argue about the this and that a little bit, but this league mechanic is something unlike I even imagine. I never even imagined something of this scale, both in terms of rewards and, you know, like this. If I wanted to do Val Temple every league, I would have all the incentive. I would instantly have all the incentive I need to play the full 2-month cycle, because that is the kind of time I need to invest in order to get the most out of it. It truly is a mechanic for people who want to put in that kind of time investment, and it's not like those people, and it comes with a sacrifice of making a lot less currency than you could make in the short run to get that huge payoff in the long run. I think having a mechanic like that is hugely beneficial for the game. Really speaks to a player like me, who, because I uniquely had this, you know, fire lit under me whenever I kind of realized what was happening in real time. Like, oh my God, this temple, wait a minute, it's going to take me like a whole week to build this, but it's going to be like this lucrative. But I'm thinking, you know, if the game is fun, I'll play for another month. So, well, this is like fucking fantastic. Well, I couldn't even ask for something better than this. There's no better excuse to play for a whole month than to introduce a mechanic exactly like this. So, okay, I'll put in the work. I'll grind my ass off. I'll basically make very little currency for a week. And in the end, I'm going to be fishing for mirrors and locks for legitimately the first time in, you know, PoE 2. Because up to this point, it's like really hard to do that. So I think there ought to be a variety of different mechanics. Some that are, and for sure, I think most mechanics, well, I think virtually all mechanics should be more lenient in terms of the time investment, just like, you know, breaches or abysses, or, you know, there's not that much to set up. You do a little bit of Atlas progression, and then you're done. You kill a boss, you get a little bit more Atlas progression, you're done. You get some precursors, farm enough currency to buy precursors, run some maps, and get a build strong enough to do it. Boom, you're done. Yeah, obviously those kind of mechanics, but not every mechanic ought to be, you know, by the numbers exactly the same like that, with the same amount of time investment effectively to maximize it, the same amount of, you know, character strength required to maximize the reward. I don't want the game to be so dumbed down that, you know, you're either bossing or you're mapping and it takes like a day or two to reach the end game, and players who are really good are basically farming at the absolute top end within like 2 or 3 days. I don't want that. I don't want the game to turn into that. I want it to be something where if you are like the highest aspirational type of player, you're going to be in it for several weeks before you really hit the pinnacle. And, you know, bonus points if the mechanic is such that you actually incentivize to gear up a character strong enough to do or to perform at that level. This one kind of is. You don't really need to scale your defenses, but I also kind of like what I'm seeing with the crazy monster effectiveness. Like, oh, monsters now have like, well, not now, but they had like 20, 30 million HP, and if you don't have a excellently geared character, damage-wise, you're not wasting time, but it's a slog. So you're highly incentivized to keep going at it. And I think if the game is ruthlessly hard in one aspect versus another, it should favor the damage requirement. Nobody wants the game to be like, nobody wants monsters to scale outrageously rippy. Like, nobody likes that. We'd rather, if monsters are scaling outrageously, we'd rather them scale crazy on their defenses, not offenses, because that's kind of not fun whenever, you know, you just walk in and get one shot or whatever. Anyway, yeah, those are some of my thoughts. There is no bell curve, in my opinion. League mechanics should feel rewarding during campaign. Well, no, I mean, okay. The Val Temple mechanic was received very highly in terms of its rewards in the campaign. That's one of the geniuses of a mechanic. That's one of the things that make GGG great at what they do, is they quite often make league mechanics that are rewarding both in the end game and the early game, but they're rewarding in different ways. So the point is there is a way to scale rewards easily in a straightforward sense, like usually, for example, tile set rewards scale as early as the campaign, and you know, the monsters there. I'm talking like PoE 1 lingo here, but tile set rewards is what you're going for in the beginning, and then later on there's a way to juice them up and get raw drops really high. So it's a different type of angle on the same mechanic. And to me, that is the hallmark of a great league mechanic, one that can somehow strike a balance between those two. And I mean, it's a little bit boring when you're thinking, it's a little bit boring, like, for example, like the Val Temple reaches a point where even something like the Val Infuser from the Tier 3 Smithy room, nobody cares about that. Like, if you're making 100 Divines a temple, you don't care about the Val Infuser. Like, you're not even probably going to hit the button to take it. Like, that's how lucrative it is. So it is a little lame whenever the types of rewards and how rewarding they are is offset to that degree that you no longer give a crap about the original purpose of it. But the Val Temple, in terms of its economic balance, has done a pretty good job with that. Like, even still, that specialized Val currency, the Val infuser, those are worth surprisingly a lot. Even though you could build a temple where you get like 15 of them in one map, you know, potentially. And there probably is somebody out there doing that. And that's really awesome that you can make a temple, like you could make a temple with like a 15 tier 3 smithy rooms or something. And it wouldn't even be that hard to do that. And somebody would make like 15 divines a temple, like 100% guaranteed. Based on the current economy. But nobody would really want to do that because A, you can make more raw currency wise, but B, if you put in that amount of effort to target farm one specific thing, and then the economy flips upside down on it, you wasted a lot of time. So you also gotta like, that's why you have to like think ahead about how you want to do it. Also makes a mechanic like this terrific for SSF because, not that I care about SSF, but people always talk about how SSF matters still. Whenever you can construct it in a way where it rewards you in certain ways and you have determinism about that, that makes people really happy. Why are there two that look the same? They spelt the same? Of course I picked the wrong one. Gladiatorial helmet. Oh wait, that's really not worth anything. Ha!
What's new?
Four more maps. Temple is a good way to gear yourself and get extra levels for newer players if they're struggling with specific zones. Yup. Think about a new build, can't pick between Ice Shot and Twisters. Well, I heard something about Ice Shot Reverse Chill being really good. It's something about Lily. Lily had a build on that? I don't know, I heard something. Can't remember from where. But, yeah, Twisters is really fun. Any kind of Twister build is always good. Can't go wrong with Twisters. Twister Spark. Invoker Saturday Night Fever Edition. I miss scaling in Temple. Oh, yeah, the scaling got easier, I guess. Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to like brutally tough scaling. It would have really incentivized me, but you know, I mean, that's a double-edged sword. People will complain about it. Oh, this hurts build diversity. Stand up in the name for build diversity. Can't have content that's too hard. We need more build diversity. And then you're like, yeah, well, you need the builds to scale, and then you know, it's not my fault one build scales more than the other. Then they're like, well, they need to bring up every single build to the same power level as... And then you're like, well, that's just going to introduce a crazy amount of power creep. And they're like, no, it doesn't matter. Ruin the game. I want my short-term fix. Pretty much every conversation about build diversity and build scaling, balance, build balance. No, you know, you don't understand. They just need to bring my build up in power. Yeah, that's what everybody's actually saying. If they were honest with themselves. But if they were actually honest with themselves, they would say, please, GGG, help me. I made the wrong decision by picking a subpar build. Please, either nerf everyone else or buff me. I would prefer you to buff me, but you can nerf everyone else as second best. Yeah, that's like, God. It's a pea-brain mentality. Is this cast on crit spark twister? Yes, it is. It is cast on crit spark. It's not just cast on crit. It's cast on ailment. It's a double. It's double whammy. Double spark penetration. We're proccing at 2 angles. You can see them both up here. If this was 0.1, I would have just had 2 cast on crit gems. That would be fair. Things were simpler back then. You know. Might try this with Oracle. Could be good. Inevitable crits is really favorable to this kind of thing too, because even when your Spark and your Twister continue critting throughout their cast, that it starts to reset its counter anyway between the casts. Especially for Twister. That's why even now Inexorable crit is really good for Twister. I think we're there.
What's new?
Think we're there. Trying to make a freaking amulet, but been a pain. I got juked. I realize now I no longer need all attributes on the amulet. So of course when I slammed in an elemental catalyst, I hit tier 1 all attributes. Of course. Of course I did. Now that I don't need it. I don't know whether I go for crit or rarity. Probably rarity in the long run, but crit in the short run, so. But I have to get the all res. I don't even know what I want to do with that yet. I'm just gonna not even use it. I'll mess with it right now. It's also such a huge sink because I'm having to use suffix only annuls. It's like 12 div a pop or something. Oops. That was last league. We're going this league. Alright. 60 out of 60. I have 1 lock already. Gonna start figuring out. I need a long path right here to start trying to get Thaumaturge, Corruption Chambers around. I've already got a little bit of a head start on Medallions for that. Gonna need a lot of Alchemy Labs to kick this off. And naturally, given Alchemy Labs, Thaumaturges, and Corruption Chambers. And a little bit of good RNG too. But I can now lock a lower level rooms, so that's really easy. That's nice. Being able to actually lock Thaumaturges ever will be a nice convenience. I can just simply put a Spy Master here and it'll have a, and lock it, and it'll have like a 50% chance of, actually a better than 50% chance. Because I'll have it on 2 angles that it deletes this room, which I ultimately want to delete. So that's just getting a little bit of a head start before the thing there, so, yeah. This new base snake is so big and long. Impressive. Yeah, yeah. Also, I made a mistake. I need this to delete. I need to put path here. I need this empty. I'm going to put a smithy here and kick off this inside, and I'll kind of meet them in the middle. Something like that. So actually a lot of different rooms I can work on, but I need some of this to clear up. Anyway, very likely to get at least 2 locks every time regardless. I have a 1-up on standby, which actually doesn't even matter anymore. Since that doesn't matter anymore, I guess I should probably... Yeah, should just hit that. Huh. I guess better now than later. I'm not chaining Golem works. I'm not chaining Golem works. Those are just kind of randomly placed. I'm not dropping anything in these temples, by the way, because I have 0 alchemy labs. So in case you're wondering why the loot sucks, I have no alchemy labs. That's why the loot sucks. Like, if I just had 1 alchemy lab, I would go from, like, 0 to 3 divines per temple. Actually. Because I did, at a couple point, have a couple alchemy labs. And I was like, oh, wait, this loot's different. 10 spy masters, no alchemy labs. Troll. Patch 15 is live now, right? As I said, I don't get any loot. Okay. Perfect exalt. Hey, they're worth more nowadays. I think a simple fix is making it more deterministic, like if you could choose the room type and not have to be randomized. I'll tell you one thing that would make the temple way better, from my experience. A, they need to raise the medallion cap, probably to something like 10 to 12. 10 or 12. I don't know why the cap is 6. That's really brutal that it's only 6. It's freaking crappy as heck. But secondarily, they need either a specific room type to target. I can't remember the name of the medallion. The name of the medallion, or the medallion type that grants you a specific room, you know, whichever room it randomizes, that one cannot be targeted. There is no targeting room for it. It's a random advanced medallion. It has a name, but there's no room that you can complete that targets that medallion for some reason. So, wow, perfect chaos. To get the room you want is like a crazy slog. Like, I really need to find a spy master medallion. I mean, I might go all day without finding a spy master medallion to complete this loot. They should have at least made, like, those should either be, you know, like 3 times more common medallion for rooms automatically, or probably the smarter implementation would be let, like, for example, let tier 3 smithy grant you have a high chance at the medallion. I think tier 3 commander rooms drop rooms. Oh, really? Is that actually true? Tier 3 commander rooms. Wait, do I have commander? Let me pull up commander again. I don't think that's true. Because I checked it twice now, commander. Let me look at it again. This is low chance for advanced medallions. On tier 2, this is low chance for Quipolatal's medallion. Maybe I didn't check on in-game, but... well, there is, but the wiki might actually be wrong. So, the medallion is called Uromoti's Medallion. Can be used to add a specific room card. But if you check the wiki for Uromoti, there's nothing. There's no room that specifies that. So either the wiki is misinforming me, or such a room doesn't exist. But I'll check tier 3 commanders again. Yeah. That's an annoying one to build, but I can do that. I mean, basically, tier 3 commander is really important then. To get tier 3 commander, you just need it inside a link. It's the same way to get, well, actually, no, it's not the same. It's it has to be connected to 2 garrisons, which is convenient because it's going to be protected in that way. In my experience, it drops more. That could be. I've rarely ever had a tier 3 commander room in my experience. Rarely.
You reek of stupidity.
You have farm rooms with low chance for specific medallions. I farmed a lot of rooms. I mean, I do typically in every temple run, I do every single room that is eligible to drop any medallion. And I often put a bunch of trash rooms, but I haven't, like, for example, gone out of my way to get tier 3 commander rooms up and running in the middle. Like, that's not something I've done. I have gone out of my way to get tier 3 Golem works because of the, you know, patch 13, which is now less important. Got a lock. The in-between room. Ethical and unethical is the Russian tech versus no Russian tech. For connecting rooms backwards so that you can chain spy masters with no armories and that kind of thing. Or corruption chambers through thaumaturges when it's normally not allowed.
You challenge
Bacon tech? What's that? I'll bite. What's that?
the vow of many ones. The vow of many ones.
Gotta get no locks from 9 spy masters. So yeah, I'd say spy master spam is still meta because you're always gonna need locks. $3.28 win. I'm at this moment. I'm not looking forward to 3.28 one bid. I'm gonna wish I could freeze time and have this build this temple in a vacuum without spending time. Hey, so I can get more finished temple action. When 3.28 comes around, I'm gonna be like, oh no, I gotta stop doing temple. No, it should be like early February. 4 weeks from now, I guess. Supposed to be every 2 weeks, or 2 months, I mean. Alright, let's see, like that. Okay, good. I need that to disappear, but that can go there. Set that back on. Wait, okay, I can start doing this now. I need I gotta look at my planner. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do here. This is kind of where I'm working at right now. Double mirror clip. Well, if it was ever going to happen in PoE 2, it'd be this league, probably. Okay. That can be built authentically. I need something like this. So I can't do this. Is so annoying that I can't do that. It's fine. I can do this, I guess. Maybe this works. Well, this might actually. I wonder if this works. Set up that way. Let's see if it allows it in the app. I know I can do this. Oh, right. No. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, it has to be a. Has to be an actual line. To forever lock this. Critical moment comes in right here. You can plug that in there and then delete this square at the same time would be huge. If that's allowed, because at some point locking this will disappear by itself. So actually at some point I'll be right here. This square will be really annoying. The choice between 3 ways connected. Be some RNG there to get rid of the right ones, but I can just keep playing with it and keep reestablishing it till it deletes the right ones. So this one, oops. This one will need to get deleted. This one will need to get deleted. And then that allows me to back it all the way back here. At the same time, or at which point I can do this, basically running it backwards. Then when I hit this, I need this to be gone. So that's it's hopefully get a sacrificial chamber there. Preferably that's connected there, which means I can actually outbound this to it doesn't. Yeah, this is really annoying. This would be so easy to get this right here, but I can't do it right here because I got this right. Or wait, no, that does work. Wait, what? Does that work? No, there's something about it doesn't work, I think. Oh yeah, this connection right here. Yeah. 4-way, yeah. Damn, that's a little unfortunate. Okay. Right, it has to be like this. That is allowed. And then obviously this will be... Oh wait, no, it's not allowed. Weird. Wait, Smithy is still connected here. What? Wait, what? Yeah, okay. Back to all the way to here. And I can actually just finish this out. Like, if I have extra pieces, I can just, whatever extra pieces. Once I get to this stage, it'll actually be pretty fast to finish. Because, I mean, there's no funny business here. It's just finishing it out. When I get here, this can be rigged this way pretty easily. But, yeah, basically just it. An alchemy orb always, or alchemy lab will always force the thaumaturge into a corruption chamber, even if it's connected on the other side. It always works. That's how you get this Russian tech this way. So I just showed you the exact, our optimal, and I'm pretty sure a most optimal way to do that. You actually have to start up here and then build backwards. It kind of gets easier as you build backwards because you're already like, your path is deleting naturally with the natural flow of you finishing your temple. So I mean, it's pretty nice. And then once you get backed up to here, this has room to finish with whatever I want. It took me a very long time theory crafting with multiple ways of looking at it to figure out how to... Oh, actually, when I put this down, when I'm right here... Let's see, I mean, this is optimal timing to... I guess in this case, I would need... I can have the Alk Lab there the whole time. I can have this here the whole time. They're not going to hold, though, unless I have, like, a lot extra locks. But, anyway, I just need that, or that and that. Wait, actually, I need... Oh, this isn't allowed, right? It actually has to be an alchemy lab. Yeah, it has to be an alchemy lab. Oh, this is allowed, though. Interesting. Okay, I can try to have these on standby and just... if I can have... All I need is... I need one Thaumaturge and one Corruption Chamber saved. When this spawns, I can delete this space at the exact same time. But the hard part will actually be holding these. So I would need, like... Or if I had 2 Thaumaturges, 1 Alchemy Lab, and a Corruption Chamber Medallion, then that would also finish it. No, there's 3. There's 3 golems. Sorry, this this is actually this. My bad. That gets changed over to this. And when this happens, you know, this will get deleted. It might delete this. It might delete this. Whatever. You know, eventually you keep slamming them down, it'll delete the left one, and then your Golem Works goes in right here. Boom. Actually, I'm not sure why this is level... Why is this level... Wait, what? Does it really have to be this? Why is it level 2 and not level 3? Shouldn't these be level 3? I mean, fuck's sake, they're on the path right there. Am I tripping? Why aren't these 3? That's retarded. I mean, there's no way that's not 3. A level 3? There's no way those aren't 3 with this level 3. It's connected straight to a path. Yeah, I think the app is lying to me here. Okay, there we go. I guess it's fine now. Alright. There they are, level 3. And then you have a bonus one here that can just take commanders whenever you spawn them as an option. You can just slam a commander in there, which is actually kind of nice because that would be the 4th commander on the up to 4 before diminished returns. Or you can slam a another Viper Loyals or something in there whenever that shows up. But you're not going to hold that. Just whenever it shows up, you got 2 options of rooms that can slam into that. And then your goal would be to hold... You got this here. You got a Corruption Chamber here. You got a Corruption Chamber here ending 2 snakes. 2 very long snakes, both ending on Corruption Chamber, which to me is the only optimal way to end a snake. Which actually made it like really hard to figure out... well, I mean, if you're doing the... Russian tech on all this is not that important, but especially if you're doing like ethical temples, you really, really want them to end on a Corruption Chamber if possible. And to get both of these to end in a perfectly slotted Corruption Chamber spot, unimpeded, is actually really, really hard to figure out layouts for that. I looked around at all kinds of different things. This can be made easier with Alk Lab if you wanted, but I'll probably go. Because the problem is when you have this many Spy Masters, your monster rarity number is going to be so freaking crazy anyway, even with diminished returns. I think I'm almost going to be avoiding Alchemy Labs anywhere I can. Kind of prefer to go meet Sack's route anyway. This is 7 Corruption Chambers, 6 Alk Labs, 10 Thaumaturges. Those Corruption Chambers are going to be pumping real hard on monster modifier count. A little unfortunate that you don't get the convenience of going double Corruption Chamber off of the Sacrificial Chamber, but that's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It had to be done this way in order to close off the slot, because if you didn't do it this way with the turning it over from like ABA to ABBA, then you're stuck with another empty spot in the middle somewhere. So as far as I can tell, this is the only way to... There is another version of this where you're only trying to sustain one extra Golem lab instead of two. But I think especially if you have, you know, like 14 spy labs, you can probably, at least some of the time, sustain 3 Golem works, not 2. So options at least there. So I'm really happy with where we're at here. I finally reached a point where I didn't really change my temple plan at all for the last more than 24 hours. I think it's the first in like a week and a half of tinkering around with this. So that's how I know it's probably going to stick. It's really hard to figure out the wraparound on all this. Wrapping same lines, same chains, and not conflicting there. That's pretty tough. But yeah, this is the ethical version, so it's got like Armory, Spy Master, Armory, Spy Master. There's 0 Russian tech going on here. It's basically the same layout. I thought about making it with only 2 Golem works, but I figured I'd just leave it as close to 1-for-1 as I can. And I don't particularly like Thaumaturge, Alchemy, Thaumaturge, Alchemy, Thaumaturge, Alchemy stuff, but it had to be done because it's lined up with this. Actually, let me double check this one. Yeah, because if I do this, then it double backs this way. It's the only way to get it in clean. And this still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Spy Masters. 9 Spy Masters for 0 with 0 Russian techs. Pretty good, I think. But more unfortunate with this one is that you're maxed out at 3 corruption chambers. That number is a bit low. The most reliable corruption chambers you can get in 2 snakes is 4. But you would have to have an open spot left for that. Additional open spot. Anyway, this is the best I can come up with for now. Open ears for other versions might be better, but I mean, this is really tight. So for anyone who is looking for a highly optimized post-patch 13 Golem Works focused temple, I know that many of the big name content creators, even like Milky BK, he doesn't have a temple like this. Like, he's not messing with it anymore with Golem Works, I don't think. I mean, I think he has something, but I don't think he's taking it all that seriously, because I'm pretty sure today was like, I think he's done streaming, actually. He said he was going to be done streaming like today for the league, so he's probably kind of bounced on that. Can I share my temple planner? Check the description of the stream. It's right there. Cute dog? Okay, cool. Cool. I had no idea what Cute Dog's up to. Yeah, so... let me set this up with... for the time being. I need my path to look like this. Kick things off like this. This is the goal right now. Temporary goal. This will kick off the Russian tech for Corruption Chamber Thaumaturge links. And I'll just hold this here for the time being, because I won't have room to develop it yet. So we're going to need a lot of Thaumaturgist corruptions in Alchemy Labs. Soon. Still got to clean up a little bit here. Also need the Smithy Lab to connect to here. Or it doesn't have to be Smithy Lab. It can be... I think it can be that anyway. Yeah. It can either be a Smithy or that. I would rather it be a Smithy Lab, though. Better loot. Batch notes? I don't have a link to it, actually. Apologize. Crap, what was I gonna do here? I don't think I need to do anything here now. I'll probably put a generator there if it shows up. I consult my thing again. Okay, this needs to be empty. That's taken. Empty. I mean, that can be taken. It's fine. This is fine. This is taken. This is... Actually, yeah, I actually don't want that square. So this go. Sorry, 1 second. I gotta check one more thing. Wolves. Nice. Five up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. I can put this here for now, it doesn't matter. Okay. We got, like, no cards last time.
These stones obey old magics.
Is there such a thing as a best architect position? I don't know for sure, but obviously, unless you're going for a middle position for some reason, which I glanced at, didn't seem that good, but I might have not caught what was great about it. If you're going for any on any of the sides, obviously there is such a thing as it would be the same position mirrored as well. From what I can tell, the best position is either here, or obviously here or here. For the angle which I was working on it, this was actually better than this. I think, like, I can't even remember how exactly, but I don't even remember if it, like, saved a space or what. I think it was something smaller than that, but I just can't remember exactly what it was at this point, but that's why I moved it over. Oh, I think what it might have been is... It was like the difference between... Based on how I was doing, like, Russian tech similar on both setups, one of them had a slightly higher buffer of rooms that could be destroyed before it backed up into Russian tech's territory. And so it was just smarter to go there. Like, I think it was something like that. That's pretty small, but, you know. What's the corruption tech for Thaumaturge? Well, I literally just showed it on stream like 5 minutes ago. The TLDR is you can always connect a thaumaturge into or out of. You can connect a thaumaturge into a corruption chamber, but you connect a thaumaturge out of a corruption chamber by backdooring it with an alchemy lab. So the wraparound involves an alchemy lab. A thaumaturge will always connect to an alchemy lab, even if it's creating an illegal connection. Just like a spy master will always connect to an armory's garrison. Exactly the same way. So the key is the alchemy lab. That's the key. To unlocking that. I have not technically verified this, by the way. I mean, I still to this day haven't technically verified that, but I'm going off the app and I'm pretty sure it works. I haven't heard anybody say otherwise, but I also haven't seen irrefutable proof that it works. So, let me know if you know. Somebody out there in the chat probably has Russian Tech Thaumaturge in their links. I think it's only slightly harder to do than Spy Master stuff. So, just dropped your second Hena Cores in Temple. Oh. Followed by I love Temple. Sure you do. I'm looking forward to that. Yo, how many divines are those worth right now? Woo!
Place in perpetual motion.
480. That's a pretty big number. Impressive. I guess that's about the right ratio if the mirrors are still... Are mirrors still like 2,000 divines or something? Crazy nonsense answer. Dropped your first mirror ever? They do exist. Really excited to watch your progress. Oh yeah, wow. You had a mirror drop too. Did you have a legacy temple or a new one? Did you drop a mirror with the bad temple? Yeah, legacy temple is now bad. By min-max standards. Alright, appreciate the locks, but I kind of need room cards, not freaking locks. Oh my god. I'm never gonna get out of this. And of course I get more locks. $40 rooms? Wait, how many divines per temple do you usually get? You don't really want to restart with golems? Alright, suit yourself. I'd be FOMOing out my ass if it was me. But that's, you know, mainly because I know I'm going to play for another 3 weeks. You hear that, guys? I'm going to be here for another 3 weeks in this temple. The build feels strong, to be honest. Nice. Glad you like it. You say for yourself, or just looking at this footage?
Perhaps you will be able to react to that.
Oh, you're in a 3-party person. Oh, you got the rig to loot. Okay. You got the bonus multiplier.
The vows have many unseen.
Please give me a spy master room. I killed the architect by mistake.
Perhaps you will.
How do you kill the architect by mistake? He's got like a animation. He's a different looking room. There's all kinds of weird animations. Like, why did you kill him? You just bounce, TP, leave, exit, F4 or something. What? I mean, it depends on what your situation is. If you haven't looped, you can lock whatever you need. If you got a long string, you can lock the end of it and still be fine. Except, you know, he's gonna move around. So. Oh, lucky. Nice. Alright, kick this off. Lost that though. What is this garbage? Put that here, I guess? Don't do it. Don't do it. Wait, isn't this technically better? There's nothing wrong with doing this, right? Put this here. I think it makes much difference. Put this and a spy master down. Well, if I have this and a spy master down, it's a problem though. There's not really any inherent advantage to leaving it there. Okay. To be honest, this temple running is so boring to watch and to do. Well, all right. I might have entertained an argument about boring to watch, but boring to do? I don't know. I've never been more excited to play PoE 2 than the temple building. So, yeah, I'm gonna hard disagree with that. Hell, I probably enjoyed theory crafting my layouts more than playing the actual game at any point. Which wasn't even playing the game, it was just theory crafting. I really got into the puzzle. So, I don't know what to tell you. What is the new Golem Works strat? Well, it means you go for tier 3 Golem Works, but they're very hard to set up and maintain and get any real significant number of because they have to be connected to a generator and the main path, which means, you know, Obviously, the temple's going to look a little different from the start. And it's hard to lock them in, you know, unless they are starting a path. So if you have a long two snake, you can obviously start one on a generator and one on a golem works, so you would always have at least one tier 3 golem works, but for all the other ones you would have to lock them individually every round, so it's not going to be easy. I the same. I was much more into building the temple or calculating it than currency from it. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, several people are like that. Yeah. I don't even really like puzzles very much, but I slowly but surely really got into this one. I kind of lament the fact that I was so late on it, but it's just always that way with League mechanics. I kind of don't really explore the League mechanic because most of the time it'll be lucrative, but only if you like go deep on it. And the problem is most of the time I don't actually enjoy League mechanics like Sanctum or Toda. I didn't even hardly do it all. And, you know, for those, just a couple examples there. Talking about like big out of map mechanics like these. Now, in-map mechanics are different, of course. Like Legion or Breach or something. This kind of removes the game from the game. No one is mapping anymore, because why handicap yourself with it? The core mapping is gone this league. Well, I mean, I don't think it's gone. People still need loot from mapping specific things. Like Citadel fragments are still going to be worth something, worth potentially a lot. Wow, second corruption chamber, that's good. I'm after those kind of rooms. Rather have Spy Master, but take a corruption chamber for sure. For sure. I don't know how I'm going to hold all these medallions with a cap of 6, though. GGG. Fix the game. I just realized we can level Spy Masters up by sneaking the lock in after the fact. Farming omens is fantastic because of temple runs. Have you seen the cost of omens right now? Like what? The problem is I think omen farming is boring. Really boring. In lineage gems, oh my god, lineage gem. Like what is like Rakiella's flow and Rigwald's. Let's get pricey, man. $19 div from 2 citadels. Damn. Yeah, usually things like this, obviously they cause inflation, but it's not like people are making money. It's not like people are making a killing in the temple in a vacuum. Like, if so much currency is dropping in the temple, it affects the market in other ways, obviously. Evie. Oh, I do have an alchemy lab now. I'm actually going to start dropping divines sometimes. Holy. feel stupid because I could have done this the whole time if I'd known better. Like, if I was starting this all over again, once I get around to like here, like this far, even if I have nothing over here, I could already start doing the other hard parts over here, which I'm doing now.
The vow of many unseen.
So many thaumaturges and corruption chambers and alchemy labs have been wasted over time because I couldn't use them for anything.
The vow of many unseen.
Back to the soil.
The vow of many unseen.
Rootsucker says not everything should be tied to mapping. There was so much more to do in PoE 1 in-game that didn't involve mapping. PoE 2 needs more temple-like content, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I mean, a lot of people complain about the lack of endgame in this game. You know what the temple brought? It brought a seriously major endgame content.
The vow of many unseen.
I don't so much hear very many people complaining about the lack of endgame content this time around like they did massively in, 0.3, 0.2, and 0.1. Yukiki said, hold my beer, we'll give you guys something to do for a while. Build this temple as optimally as you can. See if you have nothing to do in the in-game now, huh?
Back to the soil.
While I'm over here, like,
Your challenge the best of the best.
4 days later, I made like 7 rooms progress. Alright, give me something to do. Maybe not that bad, but I haven't lost any, like, I don't know, were people ever having problems keeping their snakes alive? Because at one point I had 3 different chains and like only half the temple built. I never lost like any real progress while doing that. I think people just weren't taking seriously the SimCity in the middle or something. And there were times I got 0 locks. I remember I got like 1 lock in 2 temples or something with like 9 spy masters. I still didn't lose any progress. The temple will be part of Act 5? I don't know, man. Interesting. Corruption chamber, too soon. Too soon? Well, no, it's not. I could put it here. Oh, nice. Lol. Generator? Oh yeah, I was gonna put it here. I guess. Doesn't really connect to anything important. The redo command is gone now. Replace it with ethical and unethical. Can Amazon do this build too? No, not this version. I either need a Spy Master Medallion or I need a Spy Master combined with Sacrificial Chamber. Asking a lot. Probably going to require the Medallion. Perfect Regal, stuff it, Jonathan. I'm not even grabbing it.
Your challenge.
Not even going over there. Room reroll. Yeah, I'm happy to get that. If you kill that Siri, will Architect stay the same? I don't know. I can't remember. I think he does. But you lose like a crap ton of rooms, of course. Somebody who farms her probably knows. I wonder how many people farm at Ceres just to look at her butt cheeks. Every now and then. Just get that repeat cinematic play experience. I wonder if that's like, that was the deal breaker that made them decide, you know what, I'm just gonna farm at Ceres all day, or all league long.
Perhaps you will be
And then there's like too many people doing it and it's no longer lucrative, but they can't stop. Addicted. Those sweet cheeks. Yeah, even Doriani doesn't seem phased. Just takes off her cloak or whatever. I wonder what Doriani was thinking. Maybe he's too much part machine or something, you know, he replaced too many parts, if you know what I'm saying. Just got machine parts down there. How unfortunate. Real men look at snakes.
perhaps you will be unreactive.
Oh, I'm floating medallions here. Still doing twisters? Oh yeah, I'm still doing twisters. Yeah, I guess if I hold that, I'm also holding this, so that's really nice. How many locks I can sustain now? If it unlocks, it won't let you click on a new one, so you don't have to check anymore. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks for that intel. It's very good, very good. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I don't know if I want to spend that. I'd better not spend that one yet.
No matter the path,
Look at me locking a level 1 corruption chamber like a boss. Couldn't do that yesterday. Ooh. Not that it really matters. It doesn't matter. You know how to stop the text? Yeah, if you click the actual text hint icon thing. I know that is annoying. Get better at clicking. I guess the answer is ultimately get good. Unfortunately. Kind of like when people ask me, how do you stop your cursor from like targeting a monster, you know, while whirling slash? I'm like, well, lift your finger up, stop, like actually, you know, play the game. If you lose control of your character, stop holding the button down. Reestablish connection. The new skin is so good for us. It is if you like disco. If you like disco balls. It's befitting to the invoker too, because I get big sparks and small sparks. Makes my twister looks like huge sparks. The ultimate spark build. Of course, they act like sparks too. Nice. Double re-rolls. I get 3 for the price of 1. Rounds of temple. Yeah. Imagine if you had like 10 reroll cards and you got Spy Master first. Would you put, but it was gonna loop and you required the sacrificial chamber. Would you risk that in 10 rerolls? To re-roll for a sacrificial chamber to close the loop, but if you fail, then you lose like half your shit. Half your Spy Masters, anyway. Well, actually, you could lock some of them. You wouldn't even necessarily lose them. I think Twister is the most efficient build this season, especially for Temple. Well, I hope so. I heard Temporalis is, because that's what people are using, but I'd like to think Twister might be competitive. I haven't actually seen Temporalis build. I'm missing attack speed too. I'm not moving as fast as I could. I don't even have limbs on right now. And I just realized I need to craft a new Twister weapon, because I'm definitely missing some speed. What do you mean there's still mobs in here? X-Type says, I can't build an ideal temple that's not super sweaty. With text, have made 0 progress in my temple for 1 week. 0? Alright, why? Why are you making 0 progress? I've made very slow progress, but I basically never take a step backwards. To me, the temple is like really easy to maintain, but really hard to grow. At least for At least when it comes to like Russian tech stuff. Not so hard to grow, I guess, if you're not doing that. Can you show me how you do a corner corruption chamber? Well, I'd rather... I kind of don't want to show it every time somebody asks. I showed it earlier about 30 minutes ago. And we're going to see it in real time in this stream, maybe. Maybe. Well, I guess I can lock, because I got another one. If I keep going back and forth on builds and deleting half my temple. Wait, you're deleting your temple because you're re-rolling? Wait, no! Where's my... Oh my god, I didn't grab the checkpoint. That's so bad. Having a ton of Spy Masters early in the snake helps a lot. True. I've always only ever had a lot of Spy Masters. I mean, there was one point where I only had one Spy Master, then two, then three, but... When your snake is like 8 tiles long and you got SimCity out in the middle, you're never losing any progress with or without locks, so... Like, it's not going to randomly delete, like, multiple rooms on your chain. That's not a thing. God, I can have to run back. Gotta click the checkpoint, apparently. Not automatically granted. I knew I was only one room away from the checkpoint. I was like, God dang it.
Another medallion.
Hey, those are some good rooms right there. Not a Spy Master, but those are some good rooms for some alternative progress. Alternative progression. Alright, I need thaumaturges, though. Dang it, I really don't want to spend my one thaumaturge. Actually, this one's not important, because that'll be the last thing I close off. I should care about this and this. Any planner for a non-sweat build? Yeah, I have a literal ethical version of my own planner. Type !ethical. And if you want to, what you should do, if you're willing to do some spies, look at it, use some brain intellect power, compare them side by side and think, oh, I could probably do 2 Spy Masters in a row here. Or I could probably do like 3 things here. But there's one with 0 and there's one with like maxed out, you know, min-maxed as much as I could. Which is the one I'm working on. I don't know whether to put this here now or over here. I'm not blowing this on this yet. I may never see one again for 20 temples. Those rooms weren't so good. I would have... maybe I should have rerolled anyway, because... now I gotta go in here with one card to spare. I'm gonna have to keep running back in here.
Perhaps you will be ready to practice.
Exclamation point ethical and exclamation point unethical. Two versions. Same basic layout. One is maximum Russian technology or whatever, and the other is none of it. Purely ethical temple plan. I tried to make the best version that I could. To be honest, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the ethical one, but like there's... the one weird thing about it is having to use a double armory smithy lab, because it needs to sync up for the end of that chain. You see on the bottom left, there's like armory, smithy, armory. 'Cause I guess you can't do like... you can't do armory... barracks armory. No, I'm not doing one between. Holy fuck, dude. You gotta use some brain power. Okay. If you even know what Russian tech is, then you should be able to like realize, oh, I can also put spy masters here instead of the armories here. Like, no, I'm not doing... I ain't doing that. Not that much. Not holding your hand. I'll pat you on the back, but I'm not holding your hand. Sorry. Perfect. Chaos? What? Dude, why? Those seem like really common now.
Perhaps you will be ready to practice.
Perfect Chaos seems to be dropping as often as Perfect Exalts, which doesn't even make sense to me. It's like way rarer than Perfect Exalt last league. Why is this build working so good in your hands? Well, like I said, I'm not going to hold his hand because I got to hold the mouse and the keyboard to operate this build, so... it looks good in my hands because I know what I'm doing with my hands. You know who else knows that I'm good with my hands? Somebody you know knows I'm good with my hands too. Don't say it. I'm not gonna say it this time. I'm gonna reserve it. Reserve it for next time. How much of an upgrade to cast an element? It is a pretty big upgrade once you get like really fast action build. There was a smithy over there. Do I even want a smithy? I guess. Somebody said it in chat. Why did they say it? Why? Why'd you say it though? You're not supposed to say it. Oh god, should I even go over here and do these? I guess. They'll give me checkpoints, right? Okay, I need to actually get my limbs back. I heard that you don't need to lose your limbs anymore. Is this right? If you get your limbs, you just exit to character screen every time you die and they never disappear or something? Is that right? Is that still in the game or was that hotfixed? Because I'm pissed I've lost 10% attack speed like 3 times now for no reason, I guess. Played a lot of builds and this is one I can't play. Perma die always. You have the option to, well, okay, so in the hands of somebody who's skilled at this build, like one thing that's tricky with this build is knowing where the limit is in terms of like attacking at range versus melee. You get way more damage out for attacking in melee range than you do at range, but it's also way more dangerous to do that. So after you've played this build for like 10,000 hours, like I have, Twister, Whirling/Twister, you know the exact moment when you should cast Twister. That is the difference between me and you, or me and most people. I know exactly when to cast Twister and when to wait. Because if you cast it too soon, then you gotta wait a while, and you gotta like run around doing nothing because you're waiting on Barrage and Salvo to do anything anyway. So it is actually kind of a big deal to know the exact moment when you should cast Twister to get the most damage while being adequately safe from dying. Now the temple is a bit misleading. We have 35, 50 headhunter buffs or whatever. It's not dangerous. Like I could goof around in here at this point and be fine. Oh my god, Thaumaturge room. What's up, dude? I'm glad I came over here. Thaumaturge room. That's big. I still would have rather had Spy Master, but now I'm building up quite the arsenal here for the Russian tech on this stuff. So yeah, we're definitely gonna make some moves. I'm still gonna be intelligent with it, waiting on it though. I mean, I can't collect that many rooms. I'm gonna pull the trigger. I definitely need to keep one Thaumaturge because it will have to be used. It really needs to be used in conjunction with the Sacrifice Chamber. The one that I'll place right here where I'm cursed over right now. This one I can probably force with some RNG, and this one lines up. But this one here, no. I gotta blow the lid on this Alchemy Lab the second I put that down, or else we're gonna have problems. I actually need some Thaumaturgs in, like, the authentic cards. But I can reroll some cards now. Wait, there's not... Wait, what? Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna leave the temple. I can't even pick up another medallion that's better than what I have, really. Oh, it's my master. Well, Now that's... I need to drop a lot of locks on the next one. What? Kind of need to... My SimCity looks so good, don't it? It looks like I'm actually... you can tell I've played SimCity before in my life. Look at that. Setting up the... got the double lane highway with the zones on the side. So hopefully I dropped 3 or more locks here. Gonna lock that, and this. Need a garrison here. Or no, I need a garrison here, actually. Need a garrison here first, and I'll have to continue locking this for a while. Hopefully this decays. It's not a big deal if that fails, though. I mean, it's fine. It's not the end of the world if I lose this. Worst case scenario, I'm going to level this one up. Or it's going to level up either way, whether I lock it after or not. At least technically making progress. With my, what, 10th Spy Master? Tier 3 Spy Master? Shit. Any tips for boss fights, big arena where twisters don't go through it and do multiple times? Yeah, don't do those encounters. Don't do content that involves those encounters unless like you're doing it for literal progression. Like you're killing Arbiter one time I definitely not killed Arbiter more than once, because this is the you know, you don't run this build for Arbiter farming at all. You can do like Zest farming a bit, but you know, it's just not very good for that. Reroll? Oh my god. Another reroll. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the build has some weaknesses. Like, you'll delete everything eventually with like, you know, 1,000 divines invested into it, but a big weapon is part of it for sure. All right, we got the lock on this guy. Oh god, I almost clicked close by accident. Too soon.
No matter the path, I'll
How is there a portal there when there's no portal on the other side? So I take a portal out, but there's no portal where I'm at. Or is it like actually my hideout? So how's the portal even still up? Oh, like Jonathan. A perfect Jonathan coin. I'm gonna call it something else. I seriously want to make like a custom filter sound that just says like, it just says Regal Orb in Jonathan's voice anytime I pick up a Regal Orb. Perfect, greater, or regular. I really should do that. That'd be funny. Wouldn't that be funny? Like customize Jonathan saying Regal Orb every time you pick one up. Or drop one, I guess. Just drop one. Even if you just drop one. Oh god. I mean, it would go off a lot, you know, if I didn't hide it on the filter. But I mean, I only have perfect Regals showing, so they're not that common even in here. They're pretty funny though. Imagine doing the temple, putting like your lowest tier filter on, and then like all the regular, greater, and perfect Regals. We just keep saying it over and over again. Is Jonathan spamming you with Regal Orb? MP3. I need, I don't know, I guess I need to find the clip of that, huh? Make an MP3 out of it. Why am I dropping so many divines? I only got one. How hard is that one alchemy? Look at this. I have one alchemy lab. One tier 1 alchemy lab. And I have... Where's the number on here? Can't even see it. Now 45% area rarity is higher than usual. That's one thing. Where's... Dude, where is it? How do I see it? Monsters have... Oh, there it is. 149% increased rarity of items dropped by monsters. Imagine having one tier 1 alchemy lab getting 149. That's a mad boosted. Oh, that's like 10 spy masters gang banging one alchemy lab for all it's worth. How much more loot would you say the difference between your ethical and non is? Well, that is a very hard question to answer. Well, I said this earlier. Well, that doesn't really apply. Actually, never mind. I was going to say something, but it doesn't really apply. You know, if you check the numbers, a lot of it looks similar. The big problem is that the difference between the ethical and the unethical one is the ethical one has 7 corruption chambers. The ethical one has 3. The unethical one has 7. The unethical one has way fewer alchemy labs. And the unethical one has more spy masters, fewer alchemy labs. Consequently, the The number still turns out to be roughly the same, although we don't know the exact numbers on diminished returns. We don't know how hard the diminished returns are, so I can't really even answer it, even if I wanted to. What else is it? Thaumaturges were about the same. Yeah, it really sucks to like put down, for example, Thaumaturge, Alchemy Lab, Thaumaturge, Alchemy Lab, Thaumaturge, Alchemy Lab. All those Thaumaturges for what? 3 corruption chambers? Like, that's pretty weak sauce, right? It's like 10 Thaumaturges for 3 corruption chambers. You're not getting that much value out of that. And because you have fewer Spy Masters, you don't actually even have more rarity. I think I actually had less rarity, even with way more Alchemy Labs, because I have fewer Spy Masters. The one thing you have more of is monster effectiveness, humanoid effectiveness in particular, because you got way more armories. But I would, not knowing a whole lot about the numbers, I would put way more stock in monster modifier count than, you know, giga pumping up humanoid effectiveness or something. Like, I'm kind of guesstimating here, but because monster effectiveness is like a new mechanic. We don't know a whole lot about how strong it is. I seriously doubt it's way stronger than like. I seriously doubt high scaling of monster effectiveness beats high scaling of monster modifier count, specifically when you're target farming rare monsters. I could be really surprised if that's somehow better. So that's the main difference. The biggest difference, though, is that you have 9 Spy Masters instead of like 13, I think, which means you're gonna lose you're gonna have a way harder time sustaining both snakes plus 1 or 2 extra Golem Orcs. That's the real kicker, though. So on average, you got to think about it like this. On average, the Unethical Temple will have +1 tier 3 Golem Orcs. Okay? Like, that alone is night and day in drops. The difference between like 1 versus 2 or 2 versus 3. It's going to be massive for the scaling. That's where most of the difference actually is going to come from. You can never, like, people, I don't know, some people, I guess there's some conjecture about, oh, Spy Masters aren't as necessary anymore. We lose fewer rooms, or, you know, there's diminished returns on scaling anyway, or whatever. Like, one thing you want to have is you want to have more locks than you need. That's, like, super important to have in the temple. More locks than you need. And I set a temple up for the opportunity to have up to 4 rooms locked, all 4 of them super important. 2 on the snake and then 2 level 3 Golem Orcs. If you can somehow sustain, at least for a good while, before you get a bad streak of RNG, you can sustain 4 end chains, 2 Golem Orcs, 2 snakes. Your drop's going to be massive. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to see it with your own eyes. Like, you'll have like a temple where all the Golem Orcs are up and your drops are insane, and then you like 2 of your 3 Golem Orcs fall off or something, and then your drops just suck, and you're like, well, shit, I need to get those Golem Orcs back in, but I don't have enough locks to sustain them and stuff. If anything, I'm almost like wanting to put even more Spy Masters in. I might actually drop Champions for Spy Masters, but I figure Champions probably really smart to get now because of the diminished returns on humanoid effectiveness can be somewhat made up for with the rare effectiveness, which is another reason why I think the unethical one is kind of superior, because it also has even more champions, because it can afford more, because you have to drop champions for, you kind of need to drop champions for more Spy Masters with, like you saw me doing the ethical setup. I think it was a difference between 2 versus 3 champions. And so there's no diminished returns on the champion's effectiveness of rares, which is additive with the humanoid effectiveness, I believe. And it's otherwise boosted same from the Golem Orcs. The champion room. It's the room people don't normally talk about, but it still has its place. It's still valuable in small quantities. It also creates sorry, I misspoke. I meant commander then. It also creates regular garrisons, which are, you know, not the best room in the world, but again, in small quantities, especially now, it's going to be really important. Increased number of monster packs it gives. That's also increased number of rare monsters, which we lost a ton of because of Spy Master no longer buffing garrisons, and are talking about Legion garrisons, and Legion garrisons suffering diminished returns on top of that as well. So yeah, I mean, I also was thinking about trying to get 4 commanders in, but I have 3 commanders plus a flex slot commander, which will go right here on the guide if I have an extra one. I'm not going to be locking it or anything. But yeah, it'll be there. Another reroll! Holy. Corrupted and effigy of cruelty into four crit weakness stacks. Well, I didn't even think of that. Say what? It's kind of good. Now you could get double corrupted with spell damage too. Well, it's missing Spy Masters and Corruption Chambers and champions as well. Like commanders. It's missing, I think, 1 or 2 commanders. You could get a second. You could get a fourth. You could get a 4th one, but you would lose. You would like lose 2 rooms for it. You would lose at least 2 rooms for it. So I don't know. Maybe worth it. How can you build so many Spy Masters in a row? That's the Russian tech that allows you to do that. How many Spy Masters needed to sustain 3 chains? I don't know the answer to that because I've not played at that, but I mean, based off the... Wait, why? I still don't have it. Why is... Oh my god, I gotta go back in. But I would refer to Milky. He's talked a little bit about that. He doesn't think there's any way to sustain 3 chains. Like, there's actually no way to... There is in the short run, but in the long run, with bad RNG factored in, there's actually no way to sustain 3 chains. That may be different now with the math with how many rooms you lose. So on average, like, you might, like, especially if you diversify your ending rooms on each chain, you might be able to keep them, possibly, but... yeah, like, I think you're asking for... Like, even with 13 Spy Masters I have, I still expect to be in a situation where, like, after, you know, 100 temple rooms, I'm going to have a situation where I'm going to lose one of my chains partially because it's just, you know, I'll somehow, you know, kill 100 Spy Masters and only get, like, 3 lock medallions and 100 Spy Master kills or something. Like, that's gonna happen eventually. So what, you know, what's the ramifications of that? You gotta ask yourself that question. That's why I thought the temples that I gave you are also set up so that you might be able to save them even if they start to decay. That'll be a lot easier now with you can lock the last room no matter what level it is. Okay. Close. Oh, wow. It ripped both of those off. Holy crap. That sucks. Reroll. Oh! Can't even do this. Ah, it's so crappy, dude. Man, I have Spy Master. I can't even connect that. Can't even do it. The heck, bro? Can't get Garrison to save my life right now. Oh my god, I got... Wait, it's not level 3? Oh, it has to be on the other side? I thought this would be level 3 in this situation. What the heck? A little bit of a risky situation here. I gotta play it a little bit safe for the time being. I need garrisons bad. I need 2 of them right now. 3 actually would be good. It'd be 1, 2, 3. And I need locks. I'm still stuck in no man's land over here with this stuff. I need thaumaturges either. I did skip one. Could have put it here. Oh, I forgot I had this spot. I should have. Yeah, I should have picked it up. Put it here. Yeah, that was not a good temple. Not a good temple result. That last one. Lost 2 rooms up the top, but still, no Spy Master lost. The Spy Master's hanging on for dear life. How do you not have locks? Well, you know, I only dropped 1 lock last run, and only dropped, I guess, 1 or 2 the run before it. So you don't always drop them. Then I drop a lock in the first garrison room. And that's how it goes. That's how this game goes. One good thing that came out of it is this one leveled up. This one was only level 2 a second ago. So that's nice. So now I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 level 3 Spy Masters now. I already have more than virtually anyone who has a temple. In terms of Spy Master count, this is in the like top 2 percentile. On your ethical, is it guaranteed 2 tier 3 golems or just 1? What do you mean guaranteed? It's only guaranteed 1. You have to lock down a second and or third one. There's only 2 chains. "13 spy without Russian tech? Oh my god. That's impressive. You must have 0 commander. And not very many thaumaturg alch labs and corruption chains. Had a lot of humanoid effectiveness too. Whoa. Alright, well, I'm gonna maybe get spammed with lock medallions this time, so that's nice. That's nice. Which build are you currently playing? I'm new, but I like your gameplay. I know, it's pretty good. I mean, I make this look like I'm playing a phone game, don't I? This is, if you check my YouTube channel a couple of videos back, there's a 2-minute 40-second video that overviewing the build. It may not be very understandable to a new player, but I basically explain the build. I overview the tech in the build and what the build is in a 2-minute video. It's called Spark Twister Invoker. Or Disco Inferno Invoker. 0 commander, 6, 2 corruption. Ouch, 2 corruption. That I'm telling you, man, I feel bad about that. How come you can't at least get 3? You only got 2? Should be able to get 3 at least. Never seen somebody with only 2. Okay, yeah. Lock down a third. Okay. Can you get a second Golem Works in? Regal Orb. Thanks, Jonathan. Wait. What'd you say? You have 13 Spy Masters, but you still can't sustain 3 lines with 13? What? What? There you go, guys. Somebody's got 13 Spy Masters, can't fully sustain 3 chain. You should not build a temple with 3 chains in almost any circumstances. Is there a way to complete your temple regardless of how you started it? Once you brick the way, you have to restart. Is there a way to complete your temple regardless of how you started it? Well, I mean, you can path to Atziri or just spam kill the architect and it starts changing your temple a lot. Can't sustain 3 all the time because the limited medallion you have is only 6. I mean, that's not true. You can prioritize only locks, for example. And you can, like what I'm doing is I'm trying to hold these 4 cards, but I can get locks, turn around, exit temple, lock it down, and then go finish the rest of the temple, get more locks, and lock more of it down. Like so, I mean, you are able to lock mid-run for the following run. You can sustain for 4 to 5 temples, then you get bad luck. I think you will lose all lines with no locks drop. Yeah, I guess to me the real question is how. I think there's like a conversation to be had about a strategy that involves not relying solely on locks to maintain your temple, but relying on relying heavily on locks and a little bit on just the notion that every now and then you're going to lose a few rooms, and that's okay. You know, you can get those rooms back because they made it so you lose way fewer rooms now. So you don't just like have an entire chain just get absolutely annihilated, like 10 rooms back or something. Somebody said they had a chain only lose like 3 or 4 rooms. So I mean, if you only lose 3 or 4 rooms in one line, and the temple closes, I mean, on a full temple, I mean, maybe there wasn't a full temple. I can't remember who said it, but they made it sound like, yeah, I'm fine. Self-up gun run. How many Spy Masters does he have? Link the temple. I guess. I don't want to get too much in the habit of that, but he wants to create a new temple? That's funny. I was surprised. Sounded like he was settling for or I mean, I don't know for sure, but I was under the impression he was like settling with his legacy temple. I was like, there's no way, not with that change. He's got to be feeling way too much FOMO about Golem Works scaling. I mean, he wouldn't have to create that much new stuff. Like, it's not like you got to blow up all your Spy Masters or something along the outside. You just get way too few room cards. As somebody said earlier, maybe Commander is dropping him.
The vow had many unseen.
His temple's not optimized. Well, yeah, any temple that doesn't have multiple Golem works is not optimized. Or a minimum one solid Golem works.
You challenge.
Off-screen tinkin' from downtown. I picked up a few divines. Pretty good for 0 alchemy labs, or 1. Yeah, sorry, 1 alchemy lab. Yeah. Got no locks on this, like the last 8 Spy Masters, though. I got 2 in the beginning, but then no more. My twisters? Oh, they look like this because of MTX. There's a new twister MTX. That's all. Still, he wasn't able to hold this one with it. I'm gonna go for limbs. The Spy Master upgrades this one. I think I'm gonna lose this one. They'll have to... Maybe not lose it, but... Why can't I get freaking Garrison, dude? Finally gonna go for some limbs again. What's the best chain to start with Golem Works? I mean, probably Golem Works, Smithy, Armory. That's what my plan shows.
Reveal your worth.
Jonathan failed me with that Regal Slam. Oh my god.
No matter the path.
22 life regen on an Ancestral Tiara. Wow. Hey Snoo, having an eye on your temple, it's so optimized I think it might be the best layout. Of course it is. I'm a min-maxer. Wonder why you don't sacrifice one Spy Master for a 4th commander because the damage reduction or damage return. Well, that's a fair question. Concerns of not sustaining and the fact that the goal is to sustain, is to virtually guarantee sustain on 2 chains and to try, at least when permitted, to sustain a 3rd or even 4th lock on the extra Golem Works. So the idea is that you're giving Golem Works a huge priority. In an effort to sustain them, I really wanted to get as many Spy Masters as possible, but I did, you know, fudge a little on the commander side. Oh, plus you can always slam a commander into this spot too as a 4th commander, technically. It's a flexible slot on that setup because there was like a garrison here and then a commander can go up here. I believe. It says so in the app you can. So anytime the commander card shows up, you can use it as a 4th. You would lose it immediately after, but you know, it's there. Level 1 commander. So I've killed something like 14 Spy Masters in a row without a single lock, by the way. Like right now. This is a lock from a non-Spy Master, so I guess that counts. That's actually why I'm a little bit surprised. You can't sustain, from what I hear, you can't necessarily sustain off of, you know, full temple with like 12 Spy Masters. Like, what about... Oh, a Golem Works? Oh, shit. Oh, not the card I need, but okay. The buff proximity, it's both proximity and connection. The Golem Works has to be connected to the road. And the road has to have an active generator line on it that extends into, that also extends into the room that the generator is in. It's not just enough that the connecting line has a Golem Works. It actually be far enough to go in there. But you can, like, if you level up, the generator extends further anyway. Yeah, it only has 2 chains. I know. I mean, guys, I mean, you guys don't... Anyone want to guess how many grand total of hours I've spent in the temple layout application? Y'all want to guess? The truth is, I don't even know. I probably spend an average of 2 to 4 hours a day looking at that and messing around with it and trying to theory craft stuff. With more like, you know, 8 to 10 hours the first day I did it, and then like probably like 6 to 8 hours the following day, and like 4 to 6 hours the following day, and then, you know, down about 2 to 4 hours a day for the past, you know, week and a half. It's looking at the application is like almost a full-time job for me at this point. Like, I was kind of thinking to myself, I wish I was good with AI, because I probably could have trained ChatGPT to just give me the best temple. But I don't know how to do that, so. While I spend 1 minute, do your homework, yeah. I mean, I looked at so many setups, potential setups. That's why, like, it's changed. Like, every day it's changed a little bit. Today's the first day it's not changed from the day before, so I'm starting to feel a little bit confident about my layout. Maybe being the best it can be. Threshold. What's that number go up to? Thinking that number sucks. Guys, is it true that you don't have to lose your limbs? If only you exit the character string anytime you die? I heard a rumor. Oh yeah, it's not there yet. Column works. I placed it down mid run. Oops. How many divines can I build with this build with? It's a hard question, man. A lot of the items I got before the inflation kicked in. Before people knew Temple was good. Oh my god, no checkpoint spawn. Worst layout ever. I have like 500 to 1,000 divines invested in this build pre-inflation, so it's probably like 2,000 divines invested into it now or something. I don't know. Something like that. Probably no more than that. Probably somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 divines is in this build. I've actually made a lot. Relative to the economic situation, I made less currency this league than any other league before because I essentially haven't made... I mean, I'm dropping divines now, but like up until maybe yesterday, I wasn't really dropping any divines in my temple that I've been working on for a week, so... Yeah. Said 2,000. We've seen one lock in like 15 spy masters. Starting to get just a little nervous here. We got 5 more to kill here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The vow of many unseen.
I need mana.
Can Twister have more than one elemental ground at the same time? Nope. Typically your Headhunter buff overrides whichever one you want to have, so it's kind of annoying. What the heck, dude?
The vow of many unseen.
Wow.
Meet the tree.
If I go the rest of this run, that'll be at least 20 Spy Masters with only one lock. And that lock didn't even drop from a Spy Master room. It was a different room. I mean, you want to see, like, I would have definitely lost some of my chain in this situation.
The vow.
But that's two whole temples with one lock. So unless you were like floating a bunch of locks and using them really frugally, I mean that's it right there. Now fortunately, even at this point, I'm still probably going to be safe because I got the Sim City still out in the open, so I probably won't even lose progress here, but this is probably the worst situation I've been in for like
The vow.
I don't know, for several days as far as risk to actually regressing on this next temple closure. Room reroll. Room reroll from the last Spy Master. We'll see. Also, I'm trying to hold this one too. I'm technically trying to hold 3 lines right now because I'm including this one. Alright, here we go. See what happens. Nothing bad happened. Both of these stayed. That's the beauty of SimCity. Very hard to lose progress when you got all this garbage out here. And gonna usually prioritize these rooms anyway. That's why you do it. That's why you do it as long as you can. This is one of the best things about doing Spy Master chains at the beginning, because even if you have really bad RNG halfway through, you know, the combination of the SimCity plus this many Spy Masters, I mean, the chance of me regressing is so infinitesimally small. The chance of me actually regressing in this kind of scenario. Do that. Oh wait, I didn't even know generators empowered surgeon rooms. What? What? I didn't even know that. Yet. Yeah, I mean, this will decay before it matters. Wait, actually I should have rerolled. I forgot I had that. You don't need an armory between Spy Master if you do a loop around. It's called a Russian tech in the community. Like if for example, you put armory here, garrison here, it allows you to put a Spy Master here. and it transforms a garrison into a legion garrison. And then if you can then if you can just lock it, or if you can put another garrison up here and lock this one, which you could still do even yesterday. Like if you had a 1-up medallion, you could lock it on the back end. Then it's fine. It holds. Main agenda today is to complete this chain of Spy Master. I essentially have to get a Spy Master medallion and then wait for the sacrificial chamber to spawn. Secondary mission is to start the unethical thaumaturg chain over here. What do you lock in the corners? I just explained what you lock. No, it depends on if you have an extra garrison, you lock the garrison behind the Spy Masters. You're already protected if you have it. You don't even need locks for the Russian tech. You just need, all you need is to, if for example you have an armory here, let's say I don't have this chain. If I have an armory here and a garrison here, all I need is either a Spy Master or a garrison medallion, and then I need the opposite one to appear here. And when that happens, especially a garrison one, right? So if a Spy Master finally shows up over here, I slam it in, and then I throw my garrison medallion on behind it. It becomes level 2, and it is now protecting it, and I don't even need a lock or a 1-up from yesterday. And if you have a ton of SimCity going on, the chance of that one garrison dying off, as well as like the Spy Master in the same floor, is almost 0. So hotfix 13 barely even affected anything. I think out of every single Spy Master I have here, before the hotfix I had 8 Spy Masters. I think 1 or maybe 2 of them I achieved by actually locking the Spy Master itself. And that was the reason why it succeeded, because I had to lock a level 1 Spy Master that was vulnerable. I think only 1 or 2 of all 8. The others, like 1 or 2 of them, I got through the sacrificial chamber by deleting the armory the second, it was there, because I already had like a Spy Master medallion. One of them I had like 2 Spy Master medallions. I threw 2 of them down at once. I also had a garrison medallion. I actually got 2 of them down at once, and with like 1 or no locks, and that was done, easily. But it requires actual Spy Master medallions, so. I say easily if you have the medallions. Something like two or 3 days ago, I got like 5 Spy Master medallions and like 40 temples or something. It was ridiculous. Prior to that, I got like 0 in, 100 temples or something. So that's just the way it goes. Did I go through the building plans on the stream? Not the plans, but I did talk about it on stream a little bit. Oh, hello. Your boy just automatically starting with a huge amount of energy shield and evasion. Oh, that's nice. Oh. Wait, why? A crit multi? Well, I'll be coming out of the video how to do those layouts. How to do my specific layout? Yes, I will make a video on this, but I've been reluctant to because I keep going back to the drawing board. Like I said, I spend like 2 or 4 hours a day, even up through today. Just kind of double, triple, quadruple, quintuple checking my strat and like looking at alternative ways, even in some cases all the way to like moving the architect and seeing if it changes anything, improves it at all. And the temples that I've made have only gotten better. They're for a long time also. Oh, this is a bug, by the way. It's not really gone. I had the architect here because I assumed that only the top room would be at risk, and I wasn't really aware to what extent it would be. But it actually bricked like all the rooms at once, which was stupid. So I thought it only put the top room at risk, which I probably would have stomached that risk, but anyway. Another Golem Works medallion. I did those before. What's up? What's up? We almost done with our Spy Masters.
Perhaps you will be able to.
Actually, I just realized this. If I save this Spy Master down here, which I may or may not be able to, and I complete this chain with like a Spy Master medallion, I'll be done with Spy Master. I don't need any more.
Challenge with this difficult.
Which is kind of dumb because... honestly, I don't know why I'm tripping about this. There's no reason for me to rush this. Because this is the last Spy Master. And obviously I'm going to, at some point, trying to do all of this stuff over here, I'm going to get Spy Master medallions. So I don't know why I'm even worrying about that. It's literally the last Spy Master in the entire temple. I should probably just stop trying to hold it.
Wow, have many on the side.
But, you know, if I get it, then it's done. You ask some questions? Yeah, ask questions about the build? Sure, go ahead.
Back to the soil.
Alright, we're like 24 Spy Masters, no locks. Something like 24 in a row. Hot damn. I'm not looking at any links right now, sorry. If that's part of your question. Oh no, what in the hell, dude? I have nowhere to put this. I don't need this yet.
A place in perpetual motion.
I don't know why you're missing spirit on the main hand. That's kind of weird. I didn't assign any spirit. I did not, in this version of the build, I did not assign different spirit gems to different weapon sets. So everything should be synced up.
I'm unable.
Sorry, you can't do Golem, Smithy Golem. I changed it off of that. Maybe it's possible through the using the path. It probably is possible using the path. If you, because I think Golem works under it. I think under no circumstance will the Golem works not connect to a path. So theoretically, you might be able to force it by backdooring it on your actual path. But I also don't really think that's necessary because, well, the big thing is Golem Works isn't anywhere near as strong without the path and the generator. Like, it's only going to be level 2 at the most, so... Why am I using Commander? Because the Commander drops cards. Theoretically, he drops room cards, or rumor has it. Linked how to do it. Alright, this isn't... That's a planner. It just connects to a smithy, even though it's already connected to a smithy, even on the back door? That's kind of surprising. Have you actually done it in-game? Is my path of building up to date? My profile is PoE Ninja profile, of course.
Avert your eyes!
The build's evolved a bit past the latest variation, but friend has? Okay. Cool, cool. Speed. Well, actually, cast speed is the best. Second one. Oh yeah, I got 2 of these. Yay. Nope. Yeah, you add a lane, then the Golem. Yeah. For the setup I'm planning. Putting that second lane right there is one thing that was like super clutch to me figuring. I had a pretty big eureka moment when because at first I was trying to figure out, maybe it just kind of dawned on me after working on it for a long time that maybe I actually ought to put a second lane in, you know, and maybe get a chance to get extra Golem works, and then because that changes a lot of things. Like it changes options on the ABA patterns to BAB and stuff like that, and it also removes one filler room potentially that is normally never completed. All right, I'm getting skunked or something? Like, oh, he's right here. Okay. Yeah. These things ain't dropping any medallions, man. No medallions of any kind, almost. I'm absolutely gonna have to let that Spy Master die. I'm about to go 3 temples with 2 locks, I think. 2 locks and 3 temples. Nuts. That's the worst I've ever seen. And that's with fewer Spy Masters on the go. Unless they spam me with them from the back end. No, I haven't gotten any this time. I don't think... Well, I think we did have 1 temple earlier today. I got 0.
Challenge the test of the test.
Yeah, but Commander replaces this Spy Master effectively, so... I mean, you're not gonna I don't think there's any way you're gonna actually get more lock medallions by ever replacing a spy master with a commander. I don't think you can Russian tech commanders either, can you? There's probably a way. Has anybody ever done that? It looked like you could go Spy Master into Commander and skip the armory. Could be possible with the synthesis lab. Oh. I saw the medallion drop. I'm like, finally, nope. It's actually a reroll. What is this, dude? I wonder what the actual number is. Like one lock medallion and 30 spy masters, I think. Wow. One left.
Your challenge with this sacrifice.
Nothing. Wow. Ha! Garrison spawn. That's funny. Nice.
Another medallion. Another medallion. Another medallion.
Yeah, that's gone. I still didn't lose anything up here, though. Now I get this. Oh! If I had a Spy Master card, I could complete this right now. Ugh. Dang it. I need garrison, or I need like anything else, basically. Wait, that here. Oh, that looks nice. I think I will. I think I will do that. How safe is this, I wonder? Safe for now. You know what probably happened is I put this down here, it never deletes, and I finally get ready to do this, and this stupid thing won't decay. I'm not messing with that. Nope. Nope. I guess I can put anything here. Well, we've almost done 10 temples. I've made 0 progress. Actually 0. Except collecting some cards that would be quite useful later if I could get some of the other cards to show up. Need alchemy labs.
A new way forward.
This feels so bad having. I hate the cap, man. I want to save like, dude. If I could save like 3 of each of these, I could get this done real fast when the right cards finally come. But you just don't have any room. I can only pick up 1 medallion right now. And the garrison medallion is actually really valuable. It might save me. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get spammed with it. Reroll, really? Okay, I'm just not picking it up right now. Get up after the run. Probably gonna forget that's there. I bet I'm getting good XP. Okay, I did progress experience, to be fair. Commander? Oh, okay, what? Need that either. You're being a bit too greedy keeping those rooms. Yeah, I know. But most of my progress on temples comes from medallion cards. Because I'm patient with them. Especially when it comes to spy masters. Yeah, locks no longer require a tier of room now to use. Just like they did before.
Another medallion.
Thank you for your answer. Yeah, sure. Wasn't too much trouble. Kind of weird actually seeing loot drop now. I'm not really sure why. Again, I have 0 alchemy labs. So it's like massive handicap on myself. 11 spy masters, 0 alchemy labs. But prior to hotfix 13, this would have been dropping actually quite a few divines at this point. Although I do have... Actually, I did notice when I get a lot of golem works, especially high-level golem works, that's when the currency starts kicking in too. See, right now I have an unusually high golem works power, because I got a tier 1, 2, 3, and 2. So that's more than I'd normally have, even in the endgame, probably. Dude, did the whole left side and still didn't get a lock. What? My lord, dude. You guys are seeing some, like... This has got to be, like, bottom 1 percentile RNG I'm dealing with right now. I'm quite certain I've got 1 lock and 30 Spy Masters. Which didn't even drop from a Spy Master. It dropped from a garrison. I mean 30 Spy Master kills. Including alternate rooms. I can't even get one to drop from like random rooms. Lock is rare the bigger your temple gets? Oh, maybe. Right, but like you have fewer spy masters though. That could be. I mean, I did notice even when I had like 1 or 2 spy masters, I was getting locks like all the time from them. It's probably true, something like that. That thought has occurred to me. God, another one. Double tier 2.
Back to the sword.
It would be pretty sick if they... Sick and twisted if they made it so, like, the more Spy Masters you have, the lower the lock drop rate is. What if they... Dude, oh my god. They probably... I wouldn't even be surprised if they, like, hot fixed it to be like that. What if they literally snuck that into the latest hotfix of the reversion buff? Like, didn't patch note it at all?
The vow of many answers.
Or like simultaneously, like, where the diminished returns is actually counting for lock drop rates based on the number of rooms you have. Still not dropping one. What in the world? Yo, I'm like making history here. This is... I'm about to break the record of no lock drops on tier 3 Spy Masters. Probably gone, in terms of actual Spy Master kill count, probably at like 40?
Many answers.
Something like 35 to 40 with no lock. Holy fuck! It happened. I dropped a lock. I did hit. Did hit. I'm glad they saved that. Now, I'm still not even that worried about it, because again, right now I got so much junk in the open. I don't like having no lock for this though. That's a little disquieting. I just want 2 locks every run, really. Oh, here we go, second one. Oh! Watch, we got like 3 locks in a row now. Yeah, I got a reroll to pick up 2.
The vow of many answers.
Really took an interest in your Twister build. Do you know if multiple elemental grounds can be stacked? No, I tested that a long time ago back in 0.2. It is not the case. Actually, I tested it even before then with, what's that spell that picks up the elemental ground? That they then nerfed into oblivion with a huge cooldown. I would have loved to have that spell in this build with no cooldown. Who I'm thinking of shoots a giant frozen ball, like frozen something. Frozen ball and then sparks or shards shoot out of it.
A new way forward.
Winter Orb, that's what I'm thinking of. Winter Orb. Yeah, so back in 0.1, or Winter Orb, sorry, yeah, Eye of Winter, there you go, Eye of Winter. What is Winter Orb? A D2 ability? That they inspired from? Anyway, Eye of Winter only picks up one elemental ground type at a time, and that's when I knew we got screwed. It was back when I was experimenting with it in a cast on crit setup with my monk. I was like, wouldn't it be cool to you go Invoker with elemental ground and use Eye of Winter to get both chilled and shocked ground into Eye of Winter? That'd be crazy. Nope, doesn't work. Because of course it doesn't. You know how to do Golem, Smith, Golem? I've never done it, but somebody showed a picture of it and claims they have a friend who's done it. Similar to how you do the other things, you just wrap it around. Just do a little bit of a quick wrap around, and then I guess that second smithy will connect with the Golem works. Into a second Golem works. Why am I in this room? And why does this room not drop any medallions anyway? Please, I need Spy Master medallion. Surprising both of these lived. Whoa! Am I gonna release another version of this build soon? My plan is soon, depending on what you mean by soon. It's not something I plan to work on in the next 24 to 48 hours, but I will eventually get to it. There's multiple reasons why I haven't done it yet. One of them is I haven't really progressed my own build that much past mid-in-game version. I haven't really tested whether I want to do Trinity and unset rings and weird stuff, or just kind of straightforward. I'll probably just gonna straightforwardly do a continuation of this build with things like the Vertex and its series armor. Also, Path of Building didn't turn out to be as useful as I hoped in the eyes of other people, so I'm actually intending to make a Mobalytics guide. I think I'm gonna do this time around. People have been requesting that as well. So that's going to take a little bit of work, especially since I've never worked with that site before. If you have any immediate questions about the build, future of the build, fair game. Feel free to ask. Actual arrow mobalytics? What do you mean arrow? Is it even worth using Russian tech anymore with Spy Masters? Presumably, yeah. Oh yeah? Why do you say that? Why is it better? At least that's useful. A lot of these rooms suck, though. A lot of suckage. Oh, crap. I'm dumb. I forgot to pick a reroll up. Could have picked up a reroll. I left that to I said I was going to forget that reroll. Also left a smithy in there, but that didn't matter.
A place of perpetual motion.
Headhunter and Sanguis have all jewels, but I'm missing something. Felt completely broken. I had to go back to the latest mid-game. I don't know. So you went from Soul Tether to the ES gloves. Did you go CI as well at the same time? You can't do CI with Tangletongue, of course. Oh, well, okay. You cannot do CI until you get rid of Tangletongue. It doesn't even let you use the abilities because it costs life. So that's why it felt broken. That's the reason. Perfect exalted orb. A lock. Oh. Oh, tier 5. No charges coming. Your weapon doesn't do any physical damage, I guess. Your spear should prioritize physical damage. And you want to switch out to like an inexorable crit and pinpoint critical at the same time. Is the chaos extra chaos damage? Oh, this? Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, 11% as extra is pretty big, just in general. It doesn't make my twisters look purple. That's just the MTX itself. It's a chaos twister MTX. Yeah, these Golem orcs are crazy, man. I still have 0 alchemy labs. Can you believe how many tinks I'm getting with no monster rarity multiplier? That temple is gonna be nuts, man, when it's actually built. Yeah, you need a real fizz weapon. You also absolutely need these points. Actually, this one normally, unless you have a big fizz weapon. I can't really even use these until... I guess, well, yeah, I could put it here.
No matter the path,
Oh, the extra armor break, yeah. Yeah, so armor break 3 plus whatever that extra one is. That is a lot. I mean, it should be total overkill. One hopes. Nice. Exactly the medallion that guy's supposed to drop. Having the combo cast on crit so good with my Deadeye build. Wait, you're doing this with Deadeye? I don't know why you're doing this with Deadeye, dude. You doing cast on crit spark with Deadeye? I've been telling people not to do that. Anyway, guess it's working for you. Level 3, what? Level 3 Synth Flesh Lab is the layout is better and easier to clear than level 1 and 2. %, attack speed, do it. Do it. No, 8%. I can't use it. I'm not even picking it up if you have only 10. If you take any of it, then you don't see it again. Waiting for a perfect roll range. I sure hope it's true that you can save your that you can save your limbs by logging the character screen. No, I'm not using the freezing mark anymore. Up until Tangle Tongue, it was useful for the leech purposes, but now it's not really. I need my inventory cleared out. What the heck? Garbage. Do you know what a resist is? Oh my god. Wait, really? Okay. Cool beans. Probably double res. Triple T2. Or T1, T2, T2. Oh man. Kinda good. Random body armor. And then this is also trying pretty hard. But I'm missing the omen. Oh man, okay. Just glance at my stash and suddenly I got a bunch of divines in there. Oh, right. Okay. Well, eventually need to level this guy up. But leveling Smithy makes more sense. That way I can make it level 3 every time. Yay! Get higher medallion chance and Battle Infuser every single map from now on until the end of time. Whee! I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Oops, made a wrong turn. Wait, I made 2 wrong turns. What? I've chosen Hollow Palm. When I take off weapons, I can't use skills. Well, with Hollow Palm, you're supposed to be unarmed. You gotta assign your weapon sets to those unarmed skill points. Put it in weapon set 1 and move your Whirling Slash to weapon set 2. While doing Hollow Palm. Yeah. I'm ready for the lock rebound. I'm gonna get like 5 locks and 6 Spy Masters now, right? Yeah, there's one. Here they come. Probably gonna spam me with them now. Make me second guess everything I've ever known. These are what? Blue lights? No, these are real glasses. My DNA evolved at childhood to handle this kind of thing. I sat too close to the computer screen for a long time. What is this? 3rd corruption chamber, bro? I can't wait for like 2 days from now when I'm desperate for corruption chamber medallions. It's gonna feel so good. Thinking back right to this moment. So I want the freaking medallion cap lifted. It should at least be 9 or 12, more like 12. This 12 medallion cap, please. I can only even put 1 down. I'd cast and crit Twister build. I have the issue I don't get Frenzy Charge. Probably a combination of maybe you didn't take this point, but you probably did if you checked things. Perhaps you don't have like flat fizz rolled on your, ring and or gloves. If you have a big flat fizz roll, there's a socket you can put in here for physical damage, flat fizz, that helps. Your Tangle Tongue is rolled really badly, maybe. I don't know. Mine was like corrupted with an extra socket, even more fizz damage. You're not critting very often too. Could be that. Not critting for sometimes. Can this build be done on less DPS? Yeah. I got a version of this build that you can make for like 1 divine. The early in-game version of this build, probably like a 1, maybe 2 div build. Oh well, again, before inflation, but probably, yeah. At this point in the league, yeah. With the kind of rares. It was like 4 modded rares and dirt cheap uniques that are like 1 chaos each. Yeah, anyway, up the earlier comment, it's usually some, the golden rule is always be critting, always be freezing, always be breaking enemies' armor. So if you're not breaking enemies' armor, it's probably because you don't have enough physical damage between the weapon, the rings, and or the passive allocation isn't there. Or you didn't even, maybe you somehow forgot the actual, like, support gem. The literal support gem, which is Armor Break 3. Tentatively, you could check by plugging in the 70% more Armor Break support gem, just to like, just to regain your sanity and see, oh, this is what it's supposed to feel like. All right, I just need to do more physical damage, because that will help you see what it would be if you were doing a lot more physical damage, and so you can get a feel for that in real time. Cast on crit, cast on freeze. Well, I'm not doing cast on. I have them on both. All of my spirit gems are on both weapon sets right now. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have them on different ones because they're functioning like both the cast on crit and cast on ailment are functioning as like DPS links, so kind of want them on both. I dropped a treasure vault room. Woohoo. How long do I use HP for? You don't... With Tangle Tongue, you can't... HP? HP? You talking about health pool? Tangle Tongue has to use a real health pool. The weapon itself removes your health when you use an ability. This has been a very unproductive 10 temples I just did. Leveled up 1 or 2 spy masters, that was about it. Level 3 commander it's got to be connected by 2 garrisons. So just the in and out garrisons.
Hail.
What?
Post it right away.
Oh my god, dude. Stop it. Care about the ratio. Actually, I don't even need those. Find these.
All right, your order is registered.
Dead. Getting my second resist. How long do I use Hollow Palm for? Oh. I can't get it to work with no
You've
weapon
got some
equipped.
goods in.
Do you even have the skills? Like, you're using the right skills? It should automatically work. You shouldn't even have to assign those skills. But maybe assign them specifically to weapon set 1? Did you allocate Hollow Palm with your passive point? It's not allocated with weapon set points. You can't put weapon set points into a keystone. In case that was what you were doing.
Can I help?
I'm too lazy to even see what that's worth.
Someone is bound to buy that.
Inflation, though. It's totally not worth 30 divines. Totally not.
Speak.
Alright, everybody's favorite part. Crystal farming. Whee! Controller is finicky as F makes it harder to follow along. Yeah, I got no words of wisdom about that. Really? That's kind of scary. I literally just got stunned to death almost. I like how mobs in maps are so much more dangerous than a mob in the temple. No, I've not confirmed that, but somebody else anecdotally confirmed it for me, for what that's worth. I'm quitting the league. Do you accept stuff? No, sorry, I don't. No stuff. Thank you, though. No, apparently it works similar as Russian tech. You just use Armory Smithy to backdoor it, loop around. That's what I was told. Spirit consumes charges for buffs. Yes, I am. Charge regulation. Yep. I accept stuff. No, there's no way that there's literally no way a Golem Works can be powered to tier 3 without being on a road. It's not possible. It has to be connected to a path. Like an actual road, which is powered by a generator. You can level up to level 2, of course, but not 3. That's where the real drama is with Golem Works. It makes it super restrictive. It also means you need to connect a generator to a path, as well as Golem Works. That's why I build my planner with 2 paths, not 1. I was like, well, I guess. Maybe I should go double path. With T2 Golem Smith plus Wasted Smithy. Yeah, I feel a little bad about my Wasted Smithy and my ethical tree. I'm not sure what to do about it. Because if you do no Russian tech, it's kind of annoying. You have to frickin' smithy it. Does Architect Room count as a path? No. Architect Room is a complete anomaly in this game. It is basically... It basically should be treated like dynamite. Unless it's only connected to one side, then it's fine. The second you put a second side on there, it's just... I still don't know the full extent of how it's programmed, but... It's basically like dynamite. Barrow, not a good map. Whoa. Holy, what? Wow, the 2 special ones that aren't worth anything? Really? It was extremely annoying to do that. It basically created a situation where you had to use sacrificial chamber loop. You had to like loop cancel, and it's already annoying enough to do that. You can if you really want to, but I just assumed. I was also felt like I was maybe, maybe I could actually use an extra armory or 2 because I was, really low on armor counts compared to most. But yeah, it's possible. It just felt like the most obvious, convenient place to not do the Russian tech, if there was one. This may sound weird, but I also felt like it was a... Or wait, no, never mind. I put it on the top. Oh, never mind, it's good. The hell? How are we not seeing anything yet? Stop lying to me. You gotta be kidding me. He says map complete. Huh? Alright, let's go see what the rooms are like. I'm actually gonna head off stream. Yeah, it's gonna be a real short stream today. I'm gonna get dinner at a respectable time. My plan is to log in a little earlier tomorrow. I'll at least show you what the rooms are. Actually good rooms for my situation. Wow. I mean, not really, but halfway useful because I can, let's see, I can put this back. It's here. There. This here. And I can put this here, although I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet. I need these to disappear soon. You can link your temple, it's fine. Doesn't mean I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna be honest, I spend 2 to 4 hours every day looking at this screen that you would link, and the last thing I want to do is look at it more. For like, to try and like, you know, reestablish, oh, what's he doing? And wrap my head around it and then try to do it. I already maxed my brain out on it. I don't know what the purpose of linking this to me though is. I don't know. This is like, what did you like import yours into it? Because it's got a bunch of empty spaces, but looks like it's progressed. Looks okay. Looks okay. Yeah, so a little disappointing, actually very disappointing 10 maps there. I actually had devastatingly low lock rates for a while, but no damages came from that really because of this here. Spy Master kind of require a Medallion because I can slam it in here automatically because that's there. But it, oh yeah, I think I remember I was thinking about dropping it back and slamming it like that, yeah. I might. Like, if this depot drops off naturally and I slam one here, I might do that. Yeah, anyway. Spy Master Medallion means I can place this here when the Sacrificial Chamber spawns. Can put Sacrificial Chamber down, slam the Spy Master Medallion at the same time, and destroy this right here. And then that will give it one big link all at once. In the meantime, if this disappears, I can maybe garrison and yeah, garrison straight into Spy Master and make this decay off and just get a little bit one head start. This is the last Spy Master in the entire build, I guess. Should be. Then over here we have some Russian tech for Catalyst, Corruption, Thaumaturge, Spam. So it's going to be later on these 2 points decay. I can put an Alchemy Lab here and it'll allow me to put Thaumaturge here. I can put an Alchemy Lab here. I can put Thaumaturge, Corruption Chamber. I can also put a Corruption Chamber here off of that. This one Alchemy Lab here allows Thaumaturge, Corruption Chamber, Thaumaturge, Corruption Chamber. Just one Alch Lab supports that. Bring this up here, Alchemy Lab, Thaumaturge, Corruption Chamber, and then this disappears. One Alch Lab, Thaumaturge, with the sacrificial chamber will require, I will really want to save one thaumaturge medallion indefinitely right now, because that slam right here will connect the whole link. And again, that will be a sacrificial destruction on this pathway node right here. And that will one link all of this up through here. Or here, actually. Sorry, yeah, all the way up through here. And that will effectively allow me to finish this link, which goes along here, and this one on the back side, and then a little bit more work to do right here, pulling back and then getting the rest of that. That temple looks chopped. This temple looks fine. This is exactly what you should see. A bunch of spy masters on the outside and Sim City in the middle, and with just enough breathing room to do exactly what I need to do with the remaining hard things. I'm almost... Well, I'm not almost out of the woods, but I'm definitely over halfway through the woods on this temple, at least. But I really want to try. I think it'll be really special if I can get, you know, a bunch of corruption chambers, and I'll have a very unique temple that the likes of which almost nobody will go through making, especially post-patch with a bunch of Golem works. To have a very high catalyst of corruption, spy master, and some Golem works in there. We get some real meat sacks farming. I really look forward to seeing what kind of loot comes of that. And those links are either in the description of the YouTube stream or on command. Got a few too many room medallions that I want to save, but not enough space for the other stuff. Oh well. Anyway, that's where we're at. So we'll call it today. I'll keep running some more of these this evening. Cross our fingers something good can happen. I hope it's going well for you guys. It's been very slow for me. But I feel like I'm the turtle that's winning the race in the end. I basically haven't ever had to take any steps backwards. But taking steps forward is very time consuming. Give a King Kongor raid. Let's see if he's still spazzing out like he was like 2 days ago. He was spazzing about the temple. So we're raiding King Kongor from Twitch on YouTube. We'll see you next time. I'm very, very likely going to be on tomorrow starting earlier, a little earlier than today. So the stream will be a little longer than today. Anyway, hope you all had a good first work day back from the New Year's. Like me. And catch you next time.